All right, welcome back. This Wednesday will be the 49th anniversary of the only time in our country's history that a president resigned from office. What first was called a third-rate burglary brought down the presidency of Richard Nixon. Now you can take an up-close and personal view of where it all started. It's Sunday. It's Jimmy Alexander Sunday. Jimmy, I know you are a fan of presidents. You even have a dog named after Nixon.
That's right, and you'll see him shortly. You know, how can a man that won 49 states in 1972 have to leave office in disgrace less than 2 years later? It's simple. It's Watergate. The building that was the home to Elizabeth Taylor, Bob Dole, Monica Lewinsky, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg have opened the doors to the most famous suite. Let's take a tour of the Scandal Room.
Welcome to the Scandal Room at the Watergate Hotel. It's part of the history that the hotel kept, and most people come here, stay here, and visit, and we do tours, and it's a good experience to learn the history of America, where the president had to resign. That's where the DNC office was, and this is where the burglars, Gordon Liddy and Hunt, stayed in.
So as anybody can see, this room just looks amazing. Who designed the look?
The same custom designer that did a Scandal show.
Point out some different things that are interesting about this room.
This room, we kept a retro perspective to the 70s, that era. We have a safe from when Hunt and Gordon Liddy stay in the room. People like to enjoy and take pictures and takes them back to the same thing.
What makes you feel like you're back
exactly
during that day? I love the old school typewriter, that recorder, which is one of the reasons why Nixon had to leave office.
Will Ferrell stayed with us, and then he did a tour of the room, wanted to know all the stories and everything. We get a lot of professors, a lot of college students, even high school students come in here to do a report on Nixon.
What I have stated from the beginning to be the truth has been the truth.
Now, the Watergate is known for more than just scandal. It's the home of one of Washington, D.C.'s best views. If I were to contact the Watergate and say, I want to spend a night in the Scandal Room, how much would that run me?
Yeah, so first when you call us, you're going to hear you don't need to break in, like the burglars. It goes roughly $1,600 to $2,000 per night, depending on season and the time. And then we get a lot of people, couples stay here.
Well, I guess nothing puts anybody in the mood to have a romantic evening with your spouse than a break-in at the Watergate.
Jimmy, who is paying $1,600?
Well, that's to stay at the suite. Now, they have rooms that are more affordable, and you are staying in history. I mean,
and this is true.
But the nice thing is, if you go to the Watergate, or if you call them and ask for a tour, starting, I think, at 10 in the morning until later in the afternoon, they do give tours for free.
Oh,
but
nice.
if you do a group tour, they want some cheddar. But, you know, if you go in, they'll be very nice about giving you a tour.
Nice.
Interestingly, when the Watergate opened, like in the 60s, late 60s, you could get an efficiency for 17 grand and a penthouse, or as people live in the penthouse call it, the poorhouse, for $250,000.
That's a pretty penny.
And if you think about the look of Washington, D.C., very classical looking. So the Watergate was very controversial when it opened. A lot of people didn't like the look. And I love this quote. They called it, they said the Watergate complex architecture was as appropriate as a stripper dancing at your grandmother's funeral.
Strong words.
But now it is one of the most beloved and historic hotels in the world.
It was beautiful. I spent part of my birthday there this year. That rooftop, the view, it's amazing.
Oh, and
what's the bag?
I have
Jimmy
some
brought gifts. Jimmy brought gifts.
So we have some postcards there from the Watergate. Very cool. And pens and pencils that I love. On the pen it says, "Don't stop to the recording," or "Remember you're being recorded." And I stole this from the Watergate.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're gonna talk weather right now, and you know who has $1,600? Derek.